Hello.
Shirley.
Hi.
Me?
Yes.
The Aurora Borealis in the background.
Yes.
I'm in space, so thanks for coming. On the registration, we have a Shirley Lowe. Are you also a Shirley?
That's my maiden name. Lopez is my married name.
I thought that would be the case, but it was just so close. That's a big coincidence.
It is. I didn't have to change my initials.
Well, I'm so glad that you came early so we could say hey to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard from any of the other parents about the fundraiser, or are you kind of just flying blind here?
I'm flying blind.
Cool.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of EKB supporters. A lot of teachers have come through. Are you an educator?
No, I'm a parent.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just supporting, and I've always been interested in the solar.
Well, that's wonderful. That's exactly why we created this fundraiser, is to be a very effective fundraiser and also a way that people can explore solar energy in a fun and friendly way. Because most people's only avenue is to call a solar company, and then you end up speaking with the salesperson. And I've been a salesperson most of my professional career, but I know how most people feel about salespeople.
Right.
People don't don't love to be sold, but everybody loves to buy things that are good and that are good for them. So we tried to find a happy medium, and we're super glad you used our fundraiser. Takes a lot of candy bars being sold to raise $50.
Right. Exactly.
What's the last fundraiser that you did with the school?
We've done the candy. Well, we were at a different school. At this school, we actually haven't done any fundraisers at this school.
Oh, what was the previous school you guys went to?
We were at Royal Green.
Oh, okay.
Close by. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, so no car washes or bake sales or raffles.
Well, we got into this school, during the pandemic, so there was no fundraisers. Yeah, I think this is the first one.
Totally. It's COVID safe.
Mm-hmm. COVID safe.
We can actually see each other's smiles.
Yeah.
Having to look at the eyes. There's only 3 people registered for this one. And so this should be really crisp and clean, and you should did you have a chance to look at the solar design we sent you?
No, actually, let me do that.
Yeah, because this is a great time to ask questions that you have about it, since it's such a small group. So feel free to pull it up. And
I saw it come in on my phone, but I didn't get a chance to take a look at it. There it is. Design.
And there should be an Ovanova teammate that shows up pretty soon who can actually send you over a more comprehensive version as well while we're on here. But yeah, take a look at that real quick. I'm going to modify my name so it reads my name and not Ovanova team. There we go.
It's pulling up now.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that way, if you had any just original, like just first thoughts, like John, why did you put the panels right there? We can totally move them around. We acted like we lived in your house and did it the way we would do it. But everybody, you get whatever you want as far as that's concerned. Have you looked into solar at all, or are you just kind of a brand new first type of introduction?
We have had a proposal done. Right now, the name of the company's kind of leaving me. I forgot. But it was very similar to this, the cost. It was around 52. Oh, no, wait, this is 45 lifetime electricity bill. Okay.
Nice. Jimmy
Yeah.
came. So we might have, it might just be me, you, and Jimmy, or we may have
Oh, actually, this is less.
So one thing, Jimmy, thanks for coming. Are you at the batting cages or something? He's muted. I'll see if I can. There we go.
Hey there.
Yes, sir. How's it going, Jimmy?
Good, doing great. I'm at the actual team's baseball practice.
Okay. Yeah, I just see all that. It looks like a batting cage above you.
Oh yeah, they're all out there.
You're safely sequestered behind the fence. No foul balls. No foul balls. Cool.
No problem.
So the legacy, you got a youngster playing on the team?
Yes, sir. Sure do. Yep.
Well, this is fantastic. Well, we only had 3 people registered,
Okay.
and 2 of you guys are here, and it's time to start. And Luke's a teammate with Ovanova, so if it's okay with you guys, you can get kick started into this thing. Is that all right with y'all?
Yeah.
Fine with me.
Well, happy Tuesday. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to read the thing that I had up on the screen this whole time.
I haven't read it yet.
So I'm just going to give a slight moment of silence here just to set the mood so you guys can kind of see what other people have thought about our fundraiser. Just 30 seconds of me not talking.
Very cool.
Cool deal. And so my fellow humans here, Shirley and Jimmy, if you guys know any other causes, we've been doing this for 6 years, supporting community organizations, taking money that would normally be spent paying salespeople's commissions and paying like Google and Facebook ads and and advertising. And we've been giving it to schools and churches when they invite people to learn about solar energy. So we're just redirecting marketing dollars and helping you guys save money going solar, but also creating a really fun and super easy fundraiser. So, you guys have done enough to generate the donation, but we really did create this experience for you. So this isn't a sales conversation. One thing we could probably get on the same page about is that we're all going to use electricity. All right, we're going to have a refrigerator for the rest of our lives. And so if that's not enough to maybe tune in for a bit, I don't know what is, being that you guys are going to buy electricity forever. Here's just a way you can get it from free sunshine. But we just want to show you guys, this is a fun and easy fundraiser. If you guys enjoyed this tonight, feel free to send people to our website. We've helped people go solar in 15 states so far over the last, so we can actually help you make your transition as well. So this is Team Ovanova. I'm John Kerry, the one with the sunglasses. These dinosaurs are not real. My co-founder, Lester, he also runs these evening events. So some of your friends and family, if they use our service, they might get a chance to speak with Lester. Luke's on with us tonight. Luke and Holly are the ones that create those custom solar designs that you guys got. And Trey, he is a magical fairy leprechaun teammate who comes in and saves the day all the time. So he's like our part-time when we get overwhelmed. He comes in and just swoops in and makes the burden light enough for us to carry. So this is Team Ovanova as we are. We're going to be growing. So if you know anybody who's a solar nerd who might be into fundraising and solar exploration, send them our way. We're going to have lots of people on the team soon. And this is what we have in store. So earlier today, you should have got an email with your solar design. Okay, because you guys showed up, we're actually going to send you an open book pricing tomorrow, which is actually going to break down that solar design and share with you exactly how much every part of that total is. So you probably got a total number, like it might be 20 grand, it might be 50 grand, but it's actually going to tell you how much the solar panels cost, how much the inverters cost, how much the stuff to mount it to your house so it doesn't blow away in a hurricane costs, how much Ovanova earns if you choose to go solar, how much the contractors, the electricians and roofers that do the install will get paid in case you have a brother who would like to do the install for you and you'd like to pay them that money instead of a local electrician and roofer. So it breaks it all down for you just step by step. We had to do that because people were really confused about how our prices were so much less than their other quotes. And we know as consumers that if you're looking at a couple different items and they're all around the same price, but there's one that's much less, sometimes we think it might not be quality, and we try to steer clear of paying too little for things as well, right? So that's why we broke it down for you guys so you can see you're still getting a 25-year warranty. You're still getting licensed, bonded, and insured electricians and roofers. What you're not getting is a sales commission. You're not getting marketing and advertising costs. You're not getting marked up equipment. You will pay exactly what we pay for all of the solar equipment. And you're not getting marked up labor. We just pass through that cost directly. So it's disruptive in cost, like taking an Uber is to the airport. Nobody, a taxi cannot compete with an Uber to get you to the airport because we're using our fellow humans and equipment that's already there. And so we're partnering with community organizations, baseball teams, schools to reach people over Zoom, as opposed to having people drive around in cars. So that's why you guys essentially get a good person discount for joining us if you decide to go solar with us. So we just wanted to make it easy for you to understand why we would be a little, significantly less than other companies. Either way, you're going to get that tomorrow. Tonight, it's going to be introductions, 38 seconds per human present. So this will go quick. There's not a lot of us, okay? Clarity on our current situation. This is just a 5-minute conversation to make sure we're all using we all have the same understanding, because the Dalai Lama, he said if we just listen long enough, we'll realize that we're all saying the same thing. And I feel like a lot of times people have this different definitions for the same word. So we just want to get on the same page for 5 minutes. And then there's going to be 4 basic solar concepts that usually take around 10 minutes to cover. And that's just like, how does solar energy work when the sun's not shining? Right? Like, how in the world? What about when the power's not on because the power lines are broken after a hurricane? So a lot of times people have questions, and these are just really simple, basic solar concepts that if you already know them, we'll skip over them. And if you don't, then it takes about 10 minutes to really get into them. And then there's a chance to continue your solar exploration journey, totally up to you, where you can pick a time in the future, like when you go to the dentist, right? And you leave and they're like, when do you want to schedule your next dentist appointment? Because you know it's good for you. So you pick a time and you put that off in your future. So there'll be a chance to register if you'd like, and a chance for Q&A. And the time on that is totally up to you, your level of curiosity, and how much time you have available this evening. So Jimmy looks pretty relaxed. I see him kind of lean back. I know, Shirley, if you're a mom, you're probably super busy all the time. So, totally, we're trying to keep this respectful of your time, but also help you get some foundational data to continue your solar exploration confidently. So thank you guys for being here. This is what tonight's going to hold. Let's get into introductions. And, well, this is actually supposed to be one slide over, but I'm just going to go to intros real quick. Here we go. Oh, we don't have an introduction slide anymore. Well, here's intros, guys. It's simple. It is what your name is. I'm John Carey. Where you are in the world. I'm in Hillsborough, North Carolina. It's like Piedmont, right in the middle, near Durham and Chapel Hill. Who you came here to support. So what organization told you about us? I'm part of Team Ovanova, so I came here to support the organizations you guys did, EKB and the Legacy 9U. And then if somebody were to just gift you a free solar set for your home, what you would need to know before you would let somebody install them? Like what kind of questions you'd have before you'd be like, come on, go ahead and put them up there. So, so Shirley, would you mind starting this off?
So my name is Shirley Lopez, and I'm in Miami, Florida. And I am supporting both of my sons' school, which is EKB. And questions I have, nothing really comes to mind just right now.
Okay, well, I can rephrase it a little bit to maybe facilitate conversation. So why do you think solar panels aren't on every roof in the country?
I would say, I don't know, legislation, red tape. I don't know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, thank you. That's why we started this fundraiser, is to find out why in the world we're not using free sunshine to create our electricity. Yeah, exactly. What?
No greener in the Sunshine State.
Exactly. So cool. Thank you for being here again, and Shirley, and participating. And normally it's a popcorn type game where you get to pick who goes next, but there's just two folks, so you can take your pick. Jimmy or Luke?
I don't mind. You there? It's Jimmy. All right, Jimmy Russo, Coral Springs, Florida. I'm here to represent the Margate Legacy 9U baseball team. And I guess a big question for me would be, with the amount of storms we get and stuff like that, and the consistent replacement of roofs, what's the effect on those panels when a new roof needs to be installed?
Super cool question. Thank you for asking. And do you mind if I let Luke introduce himself before I answer it?
Oh, absolutely. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Luke, go ahead.
Well, hey, I'm Luke. I'm currently in Indianapolis, but originally from Maryland, and I'm part of Team Ovanova. Just excited to meet y'all. Excited to talk about the organizations y'all are here to support. So, tripping over my words, but
Luke's a hero, guys. I met Luke years ago at this thing in Nashville, Tennessee. And he came up to me after I spoke in front of his group, and he was just like, I want to be in solar legislation. So Shirley hit it on the head, right? The red tape. Luke knew that there's red tape, and he wants to get that red tape out of the way. And he's been a fantastic teammate here. So thanks for being here. Luke's responsible for making those sweet designs, Luke and Holly. And so I'm going to quick answer Jimmy's question, but this little thing that you see up on the screen where it's got like little domino type deals, homeschool, community, state policy, Fed policy, clean energy future. Like the point of this for me, when I look at it, is it seems like everybody is really, really busy. That's what it seems like. And so I'm sure that it makes sense that we can all make a difference in the world. But in the next like 10, 15 minutes, if you guys could, and you guys are doing awesome, really focus on the conversation and be curious and ask questions. And really, if there is something that comes up, know that this is a community sourced conversation and we are not hiding anything. So ask a question, interrupt me, stay unmuted if you will, and make this a conversation, because we can't imagine why somebody who owns their home would rent their electricity. We can't imagine why somebody would pay their power company for the rest of their lives when they could own equipment that operates from free sunshine and does the same thing in a much more environmentally friendly way, and for most people, a much less expensive way. Like for instance, Shirley, the design we created for you, it produces 101% of the energy that you need in your house. And if you decided to do it like zero down, like people get their iPhones, you know how you walk in and they just hand it to you, right? And you pay like 30 bucks a month until it's paid off. Well, that's how most people go solar. If you chose to go solar without any upfront costs, you'd save $6.29 a month without spending anything up front. So we don't know why people wouldn't be doing that, except for they just were too busy to hear and to be curious. And so that's what I'm asking you guys to do over the next 10, 15 minutes, is just to really dig in for and be here with us now. E-learning is tough. Think about the kids, right? Over the last year and how difficult it was to get them to sit, all the distractions on the computer. And so you guys are the parents now, kind of on the screen here. And let's do our best to really get as much as we can out of this. Jimmy, our design for you is 101% of your energy needs, and it would save you $30.50 a month if you paid zero down. So, and we can actually go into your design specifically. But if you guys remember when I invited you, there'll be a part here to do registration. Luke's about to put the link in the chat. It's just it's a Calendly link. It's a hyperlink. You click on it. You can't mess it up. You just pick a day and a time that's comfortable for you to schedule your dentist appointment in the future. And we will actually zoom in on your house and get as specific as you want to. And we'll probably have time for that tonight, but I want to be respectful of y'all's time and make sure that, we get through the fundamentals right now. And then if you guys have Q&A and questions and stuff like that, we can do it. So either way, that's what that slide's about. It's just saying, hey, let's really zoom in here. So here's that 5 minutes getting on the same page scenario. Okay. So, these are seemingly rhetorical questions, but it's way more fun when people answer them. So how long do you guys intend to use electricity? Yes. Okay. So just want to be on, that's like one thing to recognize is forever. Jimmy, are you in the same boat? Or you got some magical device that, you're going to turn into Amish maybe?
No, I have my power cords hooked up to the neighbor.
Okay.
Just kidding. This is recorded.
Yeah. So this is like, we're on the same page here. We're going to use electricity. Check. Okay. Now, what is the return on the investment for your electricity bill?
Negative?
Yeah, negative 100%, right? Every month that goes by, you could pay your electricity bill. Let's do a simple exercise before we move on to C. So let's take the electricity bill that you guys told us. So, Shirley, $150 a month, and Jimmy, $260 a month. So use your phone if you can. Or I can do, it looks like Shirley's on a computer, so I'll let her use her phone. But Jimmy, you're probably on your phone, aren't you? Yeah, so let me do the math for you so you can keep looking at your phone. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take your monthly bill and this negative 100% ROI. I'm going to multiply it times 12 to see what you'll spend in a year with the utility company. So 260 times 12, that's $3,100 that you'll pay to the utility in the next 12 months. And then if you multiply that times the lowest warranty on solar equipment, which is 25 years. So that's just just to be clear, the very first solar panels were invented in 1954. They are still working 67 years later. So they don't have any moving parts. So if you have an engineering mind, how likely is it for something to break that doesn't have any moving gears? There's no maintenance, there's no oil changes, it just sits there still. So we're going to multiply that times 25. So Jimmy, for you, if electricity costs do not go up at all over the next 25 years, and you do not find more things to plug into the neighbor's house, then you're going to spend $78,000 and not be a single day closer to paying off your electricity bill. That's just during the warranty period of the panels, like the guaranteed time frame. So, so either way, what was your number, Shirley? Just out of curiosity.
So okay, I'm not very good at math, so you're gonna have to be a little slow here. So my monthly bill times 12, that's what
And
you
that
said?
would be, yep, that's how much you'll spend in a year, which is what, 1,800?
1,800.
And now multiply that times just the standard warranty, which is 25 years.
25 years, so that's 45,000.
Isn't that crazy? You could put one of the kids through college almost, you know? And so that isn't, because you know you're going to buy electricity no matter what. And it's likely it's going to go up in cost, and it's likely you're going to find more things to plug in, like an electric car, etc. Right? So this is just a rental payment, and y'all are homeowners. That's got to get annoying, especially when you could zero down, install equipment that deletes the rental payment. Because when you guys go solar, you don't pick up an extra bill. It's like when you bought your house, did you keep paying rent at your old place? No, you just took the money you were paying for rent and you just started paying your mortgage with it. So either way, so the ROI on your electricity bill is negative 100%, because people ask us all the time, what's the ROI on going solar? Is that something you guys probably wondered before?
I mean, I've always thought, yeah, you you send back electricity to FPL and you make money.
Yeah, like, well, a lot of people are wondering, how long do I have to pay for my solar before I get a return on my investment?
Mm.
But all I'm saying is that's like apples and oranges, because your electricity bill is not an investment. It's like comparing rent to mortgage.
Right.
There's no comparison. So,
yeah.
But if you are, so your electricity bill is never going to be paid off. And the last concept to help us get on the same page is, where is your electricity produced? Like, how far away?
No idea.
Yeah. Do you like, and I'm not getting preachy here, but we've been doing this for 6 years, and we used to ask, do you know how your electricity is generated? But it is wild, guys. Like, electricity is so important to us that when it goes out, that's like, it stops everything. It's like, when's the power going to come back on? Is it going to come back on now? How about now?
Yeah.
But most of us don't know how far away it comes from, how it's generated, or even how much we pay per unit. Like, how much a gallon of gas is, but how much is a watt? How much does a watt cost you? And it's so important to us. We couldn't even pump the gas out of the ground into our cars without electricity. So the answer to your question is, I don't know how far away it's produced, but what do you think happens to the value of your property if you're able to produce electricity on your property rather than 150 miles away?
Goes up.
It goes way up. It actually goes up, depending on how much you pay for your solar, by more than it costs to install it. So if you're wondering about a return on your investment, it actually could be the first day it's installed and activated, because you've added more equity to your property than it costs to install it in the first place. Kind of like if you've known anybody that wanted to sell their property, they might not have ever fixed up their house the whole time they lived there, but as soon as they're about to sell, they paint it and they redo the floors. Because they know that it's going to sell for more than it costs them to do the repairs. And solar energy, and you don't have to take my word for it, if you just do a little Googling, you'll find out that there's 100 different studies out there, but they all say the same thing. The value goes up and the time on the market goes down. If you're shopping for a house, are you going to rather have a house that has a never-ending electricity bill, or are you going to want to have a house that doesn't have an electricity bill? Right. Yeah. And of course, you'll pay more for a house that produces its own electricity, like you'll pay more for a refrigerator that fills itself with food, right? You can't even live in a house without electricity. So these are just some clarity on the current situation to make sure we're all on the same page. because I feel like a lot of people are looking at solar as like a cost or like an extra thing, but y'all are gonna buy electricity. It's just whether or not you're gonna buy it from yourself or you're gonna buy it from FPL, right? Or yeah, you guys both have FPL. So either way, now the 4 basic concepts, we don't have to go in depth on these if you guys already understand them. So please do not let me waste your time with stuff you already know, okay? So are you guys familiar with how solar works on like cloudy, rainy, or like dark days or dark times? Shirley, would you do it for us? Tell us how it's done.
Well, I don't know technically. I just know that it's still capturing solar, and but I've seen that exact diagram before.
Then that means the quote that you got was probably from a company called Windmar. You said you got a quote.
I did get a quote. Windmar does not sound familiar, but
okay,
that was a very, very, pretty much exact or close to it.
We didn't rip it off completely, but we thought it was a really simple simple graphic to show. And they're one of the partners that we used to use in Florida a lot. Now we don't work with solar companies as much as we work directly with electricians and roofers.
Okay.
Solar companies are just too expensive. They mark up the equipment, they make money on financing, they mark up the labor. And really, you don't want a solar company on your roof. You want a roofer. And you don't want a solar company doing your electrical work. You want an electrician, and that's all they hire anyway. So we just kind of vertically integrated and save people a bunch of money. But either way, they are a great partner and they do fantastic work. So, so just to try to make it as simple and as clean as possible. So solar panels only generate electricity when it's light outside, and they don't store electricity at all. What happens is during the day, they'll produce so much that not only can it feed your house's electrical needs, but there's extra. And the extra is exactly what you said earlier, Shirley, is you actually sell that to FPL and it goes back onto the power lines and your closest neighbors use it. This bidirectional utility meter that you see right here, all that is it's a new meter that can actually not only read how much you're using, but how much you're producing. So it can go both directions. Pretty cool. So I have a question for you guys. Why do you think FPL would buy electricity from you, being that they actually are selling electricity?
It's got to be more cost effective to feed the neighbor from your place.
You're a smart man, Jimmy. You're a smart man. Exactly. When somebody is 150 miles from a power plant, the FPL is going to lose so much electricity transferring it those distances that if they buy it from you, and they'll pay you full price, they'll actually pay you what they charge you. So 1-to-1 credit. It's awesome. And that means and then if they sell it to your next door neighbor for full price, they make out like bandits because they took free sunshine energy and sold it to your neighbor instead of having to make it the way they currently do. Which I'm just curious, do you guys know how we generate electricity? It blows my mind how there's nothing wrong with not knowing.
Power plant does something, and then my TV works.
Yeah. Look, I'm just getting like the 2-second version, guys, is whether it's nuclear or gas or coal, right? Which is crazy. All we're doing is we're making heat. We either burn that stuff or we use the heat from a nuclear reaction. And the whole point is to make water boil, to make steam. That's what they do at power plants, is they make steam. No joke. The steam gets pointed at this big fan. It's called a turbine. And we get that bad boy spinning really quick. And then that is connected to copper and magnets. And when you rotate copper and magnets around each other quickly, it generates an electric current, which then we send down the power lines. So when you think about hydroelectric and wind, that's what's happening, is we're using the wind to spin the magnets in the copper, or we're using the water to spin the magnets in the copper. But most of our electricity, guys, true story, is generated by burning pieces of our planet to make water boil, to make steam, to spin things far away from where we live. And now we can do it using a piece of equipment that's, we literally will manufacture this once, primarily made of sand, second most abundant element on the planet, and operates from free sunshine. And, you know, humans are pretty reliable. I'm grateful that they show up to the power plant every day so my lights stay on. But the sunshine has showed up every single day. It's probably been the most reliable piece in my life. So either way, it's just, you know, technology changes and things don't make sense anymore. You guys carry around boom boxes and camcorders still? Right, because iPhones are around. And soon it'll be crazy to burn things, to boil things far away when you can just generate it on site. So I'll get off the soapbox there, but just to bring this to a conclusion, is you're selling these credits back to FPL during the day. So after dark, or when you've got a full house because it's Christmas time and it's snowing and cloudy and you got tons of energy usage, you're never going to run out of electricity. You're not going to have flickering lights. Your electricity will work exactly the way it always has because you're connected to the power lines like you have always been. You're just going to be producing excess during the day and then using your excess tokens you created at night. It's like rollover minutes. So check, you can see this. This is a simple design here. The orange is throughout the 12 months of the year, the solar production curve gets higher in the summer and lower in the winter. Why do you guys think that is?
More clouds in the winter?
Totally, right? We have longer days in the summer, so there's more light, and the sun is higher in the sky. And just, you know, you think about getting a tan, you don't stand up, you lay down, right? Exactly. So sunshine, there's more sunshine in the summer, you'll generate more solar in the summer, and throughout the year, you're going to use varying amounts of electricity. Well, when we built your design to produce 100% of what you need in a year. So over the course of the year, you produce enough extra rollover minutes where you don't have to pay the utility company anything. The only thing you pay them is the customer charge to stay connected to the utility grid. Luke, I always mix up TICO and FPL. Is it $8.32 or is it $15?
14.
14. Okay. So for FPL, your customer charge is $14 a month. So unless you want to get batteries and go off grid, then you're going to want to continue to pay $14 a month to stay connected to FPL. There's lots of good reasons to do that as well, but we can talk about batteries and off grid as well. But just so you know, you do not need a battery to benefit from the savings of solar energy. A battery is like a backup generator. Either one of you guys have a generator?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And so if the power is not functioning on the grid, does your generator run your entire house or does it just run a few things?
Just a few things.
Okay. You can get enough batteries to run your entire house, or you can get enough batteries to run like all your lights and outlets in your refrigerator, but not your HVAC units and stuff. And tomorrow, when you get that open book pricing I mentioned that we're going to send you because you showed up, it's going to look like this. It's going to have your design in here. It's going to show all the how much we earn, how much the electricians and roofers get paid, how much the panels cost, how much the inverters cost. It's going to break down all those prices, what your tax credit's going to be. But you'll see a tab at the bottom that says battery options. And it's going to show you what the cost would be if you wanted to add batteries. And they're just like a generator, except for one, they don't have moving parts. So you don't have to change the oil in your, you have to change the oil in your generator. They are filled up by free sunshine rather than gasoline or diesel or propane, which you might not be able to access that after a hurricane. So, and it's also quiet. So either way, if you get the standard option, your electricity will work like it always has. If the power's out, your power's out. If you get the battery option, if the power goes out, you can actually keep your lights on and use your solar during the day and use your battery at night. So quick question to check competency, if you guys don't mind. If you chose the standard option and you did not get a battery and a hurricane came and the tree fell on the power line right here, will you be able to run your house and your lights even if it's sunny outside?
From the solar, yes.
So if you have a battery, the answer is yes. If you don't have a battery, the answer is no. And here's why, Jimmy. Do you remember what happens during the day with the extra electricity that we produce with the solar?
It goes back.
We're giving it back.
Right. And if somebody's out here trying to fix this power line and you're giving it back onto the power line, do you see how that could be dangerous?
Dangerous? I'm not sure, but
Well, if somebody's out here trying to repair a power line and you're putting electricity back into the power lines,
Yep, juice them up.
yeah, you could juice them up. So there is safety equipment installed on your solar equipment. If it senses the grid go down, it will deactivate your solar panels for the safety of line workers. So if you want access to your solar equipment when the grid is not working, that's when you need a battery. What will happen is it will have an automatic transfer switch. It will sense the grid signal, and within 4 milliseconds, meaning that it's like a fourth of the time it takes a hummingbird to flap its wings, it will open the circuit to the utility grid to make the lines safe, and it will create a microgrid in your home where the solar panels will run your house during the day and charge your battery. And then at night, you will use your battery to power your house. And then when the sun comes back up, it will run the house and recharge the battery. And you can do that indefinitely. Like if the power's out for 2 weeks, no problem. Sun comes up every day, right? It powers your house, recharges your battery, etc. Jimmy, you can also attach your generator to the battery. And if at night your batteries weren't sufficient because you were having a jam band or something, and you guys stayed up through all hours of the night instead of going to bed at a reasonable hour, right? Then you can actually start your generator to recharge the batteries at night, and it'll kick off when they're charged enough. So it can actually integrate with the system. So either way, that was a little bit more than I would normally share for this like, how does it work when it's cloudy or rainy? But it covered a lot of this stuff too. So like, any questions about batteries or like when it's cloudy or rainy, you guys hopefully got that. If you went solar, you're not going to run out of electricity. You always have access to an unlimited tap because you're connected to the utility company. It's like if you had chickens in your backyard, you can still go to the grocery store and buy eggs if you run out with your chickens, right? Cool.
how would you know if if a hurricane came, you're counting on your solar panels are going to still work, right?
Are you talking about like them being damaged from the hurricane?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you for asking. And this will cover, Jimmy asked some questions too. So let me play this 1 minute video and then I'll pause it and share with you how to answer these questions.
Solar installation in less than a minute.
This is a solar installation in less than a minute, although I need to share computer sound. Here we go.
This time-lapse video shows a real solar installation on a home in Newton, Massachusetts. The Foremans went solar with one of Energy Sage's pre-screened installers and chose a 6.7 kilowatt solar system. Step 1. Prepping the roof for solar panels. Here, the team of 3 installers are placing racks on the roof.
Okay, so first of all, let me back it up just a second. So if the question, there's some really easy answers for hurricanes and Floridians. One, if there's a hurricane that comes through, you have homeowners insurance that will cover your solar panels. So just to be clear, you are covered, okay? Number 2, you can't get a permit to do anything where you guys live without passing an inspection. And the inspection is going to make sure that there's no dangerous solar panels flying through the air, right? So they have wind speed requirements. You guys see how many attachment points are on this roof? So if you're up north, the engineering and the structural stamps, they're all going to scrutinize the weight on the roof because they have the weight of snow and the weight of solar panels. Down south, it's not so much about weight, it's about wind speed. And so you're going to see attachments more frequently down south where there's higher wind speed requirements. But regardless, remember, we've had solar for 67 years. And you guys see solar around where you live, and there's no way it would have gotten installed. And there's been hurricanes since you guys have seen those people with solar, and those panels are still there. So just to be clear, one, if the hurricane's crazy, you're covered with your homeowners. Two, it has to be engineered specifically to withstand wind speeds and the codes in your specific area. Two, you can see that if you Google like hurricanes and solar, you're going to find more photos of people's entire roofs blown off with the solar panels still attached than you are with like 1 or 2 solar panels missing. They're attached very well. So yeah, a little bit of a rant, but
Roof that will hold the 24 solar panels. Step 2. Connecting the panels to the roof. The panels are mounted on the racking equipment and will soon begin to generate solar electricity. They are connected to a string inverter that converts solar energy into usable electricity. Solar panels are lightweight and very durable. They require no maintenance and they last more than 30 years. The Foremans purchased their system.
so I paused it here to show you guys. I'm just going to try to phrase this in questions. What do you guys think wears out a roof? What do you think causes your roof need to be replaced in like 20 or 30 years?
Down here, it's a combination of the sun and the rain. Sun
Yeah.
beats it up.
Totally. Sun's hardcore. If you ever had any like kids' toys in the yard for 2 months straight and they just get brittle, they lose their color. Sunshine's hardcore. It's the elements, right? So I bet you could imagine the roofing underneath these panels if you remove them 30 years later, and it almost looks brand new, right? So not only, a lot of people don't think about that. It extends the length of the how long a roof will last because underneath it's just not getting direct sunshine and not even direct rain. But what do you guys think the air conditioning bills would be like in a place in Florida if you had solar panels covering a roof plane that gets a ton of sun and there's this wind and air gap in between the panels in your house? Yeah, does that make sense it's like a shade tree? I mean, it doesn't matter if these panels were a foot off the roof or if they were 6 inches off the roof or 3 inches off the roof, they're taking that sunshine and it's just
It's not getting absorbed in the house.
exactly. So not only is it decreasing your need for air conditioning, but it's lengthening the time that your roof will last. And these are just things people don't even, it's a sales point if you want to call it that, but it's just logic, right? So either way, they mentioned that they last 30 years. I don't know why they said that. The warranty on most panels is 25 years. The first ones still work 67 years later. We don't know how long solar panels work because they're still going, but we do know that over time, they actually degrade slowly. So the warranty on solar panels actually guarantees a certain amount of electricity production over 25 years. So it's even better. They're not even saying, look, Shirley, your solar panels are going to work after 25 years. They're actually guaranteeing a certain level of effectiveness after 25 years, which is awesome. And based on the panel that you choose, that determines the level of effectiveness. And so we have all that stuff transparently on the template. You can actually see a bunch of different options and we can access literally any panel you want. So you can click the panel. You can actually go to that website they mentioned, Energy Sage. You can get other solar quotes. You can see how they hold up to hail and crazy wind. So it's, pretty cool. So it breaks it all down for you. So if you're interested in nerding out, great. If you just want to go, you know what, those guys, they created this fundraising service and this solar thing, and it sounds like they really care about people, and I'm a busy person. Let me ask them why they made the decisions they made. And maybe I'm just going to trust that they're nerdy enough to, have set it up the way they would have set it up for themselves. And that is exactly what we did. We designed this if you were our best friends. But you're totally welcome to follow the rabbit hole as deeply as we have. And we're happy to be patient and to support you in that if you'd like to use us as a resource. So as far as the question about damaged after a hurricane, the answer is that's not going to be an issue. And if it is, then you're going to be worried about more than just electricity working. Like if your panels get damaged, your house is going to be severely damaged. But let me just give you an example of that. So there's so many examples. Google is a great resource, guys, but the Denver area had a crazy hailstorm and golf ball sized dents on roofs, homes, vehicles. And there's a over 3,000 panel solar field in the same area, and there was one broken panel. It's like having a hard hat on your roof. Solar panels are super duper resilient. So it's just going to lengthen your roof, protect it. And again, the cool part is if one panel breaks, it's not the end of the world. And it's not like they'll stop working. A shattered solar panel will still produce electricity. It'll just degrade faster because then the silicon wafers underneath the glass are exposed to the elements, and the moisture will cause it, but it'll get replaced. A solar panel is super inexpensive. If you look at your design, you'll be able to see how much the panels that we quoted you with are. And in this design, the panels are $140 a piece. So if one's damaged, you might not even want to use your homeowner's insurance deductible. You might just be like, you know what, let's just replace that panel on our own. You saw how easy it was from the video. Did you guys catch how long that install took?
A day?
Yep, 1 day. Pretty cool, right? Most installs take a day to 3 days, depending on how many panels and whether or not the homeowner wants batteries. So it's not like, and most of it happens outside on your home. It's not like a kitchen remodel where you got a bunch of dudes in your house making dust for 2 months, right? Kind of cool. So fantastic, good questions. Any questions about that, what we just talked about? And don't worry, I'm not going to go through all of this stuff. We just have a few more points, and then it's just Q&A. And you guys can, at any point in time, register for a follow-up. So curious question, how can solar be expensive and save you money at the same time? Have you guys heard both those things? Solar's expensive. Anybody heard that before?
Yeah, I mean.
And have you heard people say that it saves people money?
Yes. Long term?
Yeah. Well, for both of you guys, we showed you earlier that short term, it saves you money too. Jimmy saves $30 a month short term, 0 down, and you save $6.29 a month.
So when you say saves, we're still paying FPL, or we're
thank you
making that? That's positive money. Making
money. That's positive money. So thank you for asking, Shirley. This is I'm so appreciative for people like being brave and asking questions. So it's like this. You based on your solar offset, that's going to determine how much of the energy portion of your bill you can delete. Right? So if in your design you can produce 101% of your electricity. So out of your $150 bill, let's say that your customer charges see how the customer charge, the fixed number is 12 here?
Yep.
This is Duke's customer charge. Yours is $14.
Okay.
So your energy cost on average would be $136 a month. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And you could delete 100% of that because you no longer buy electricity from FPL. You just produce enough during the day to sell it to them. So after dark, you can use your tokens. So at the end of the year, you didn't actually spend any money on electricity. Is that clear?
Yeah, but we're paying for the solar panels. We have a monthly payment.
Totally, exactly. And so your monthly payment on your solar panels, if you chose a 0 down option, is going to be based on the term you choose. Did you choose a 15 or a 30-year mortgage?
I don't know, my husband.
Okay. But you know that financially speaking, you can.
I don't know.
Yeah, you could pay cash for your solar panels. You could pay them off in 5 years or 25 years, and whatever term you choose actually determines your solar payment.
Okay.
And in this case, if you chose the one that my wife and I chose, which is a 21-year loan, then you would save $6.29 a month. Can you see how much this person's going to save by going solar?
Yeah.
How much?
$37.
Exactly. 37 bucks. So because the energy portion goes away and the solar payment's 90, the solar payment's not going to go up, but they're if they stayed with the utility company, historically electricity rates do rise. So there's even more savings if you build in escalation. But you'll see in our designs that we sent you guys, we built in no utility rate escalation, whereas most companies will actually build in some rate. But either way, so your monthly payment for your solar gets to be whatever you guys want it to be. And some people are super financially savvy and they're like, you know what, we're not going to pay anybody interest. We're just going to pay cash. And you can do that. Or you can choose a zero down loan. And instead of having a bill that's never going to go away, have a bill that's going to go away in 21 years and the whole time be paying yourself to make your house more valuable and actually produce electricity where you live. So next time there's a hurricane, you don't have to rely on the power line staying intact. So either way, hopefully,
if my current bill is 150, I can still allocate 150 towards my solar payment.
Yeah. Do you mind if I pull up your open book pricing?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Just hopefully this won't bore Jimmy, but you're going to get this as well. Okay. So Jimmy, one of these is coming to you as well. Luke might have already sent it. I don't know. Does this look like your house?
Yes.
Okay. And if you want, you can put these panels over here too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put them wherever you want, but this is just where we placed them because this roof is more flat.
Right.
And the pitch on this roof gives you more efficiency because of the tilt.
Yeah, it's a small tilt.
Yeah, and you can have it any way you want it. We have a software program that will actually tell us exactly how many dollars of electricity panels will produce based on where you put them. So if you want to modify this in any way, just let us know. But this breaks it down. You need 42 solar panels of this type in order to produce 101% of a $150 bill. So if you chose, let's see here, this is 150 times 1. Yeah. So I don't know why that says, what's going on with this stuff? Luke, it says 121.
It looks like someone cleared out the formula and portion of utility bill.
It's broken, but
I'll go back on.
Yeah. If you could fix that, that'd be awesome because I'm not sure how to do it. But either way, this shows that none of this is correct. Somebody broke the template and we've been using it all day. Because look what the totals are. Man.
That's okay.
Well,
I'm at the numbers anyway, so.
Yeah, well, either way, before we send this, we will make sure that the numbers are accurate. It's a spreadsheet, and if you delete a formula, it throws everything off. But to answer your question is, your monthly payment is going to be based on how many months or how many years you want to pay it off and what your credit score is. You guys have pretty good credit?
Yeah, we have it really good.
Well, then you're going to have a great, nice, low interest rate, and you get to choose. And it's right here. You can click this thing right here, and it'll actually show you all the different interest rates. 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15, 20, 21. A lot of people, they refinance their house and they knock their mortgage down by more than the increased cost of their solar. Right? So if they were paying $1,000 a month, they might end up with an $800 a month mortgage and no electricity bill and lower interest rate, because I don't know if you've heard about interest rates right now, but it's insanity. So it's a great time to refinance, and mortgage companies love to lend money for solar because you're increasing the value of your home. And if you decided to default, they get a house with solar on it. You know what I mean? So, but either way, you have a way to do it. You can modify these numbers anytime. You can put in the price for the panels without the battery or the price for the panels with the battery. You can experiment down here with applying your tax credit to the loan or keeping your tax credit. Jimmy, do you know about the solar tax credit?
No, I don't.
I'm going to see if your spreadsheet's accurate. Nope. None of these spreadsheets are accurate, Luke. It's all broken. So the tax credit is money that you will have access to because you went solar that you otherwise would not. And it's 26% of the total cost of the system. So I'm going to, okay, yeah, so yours looks like it's populating correctly right now. Perfect. You mind if I pull it up on the screen just as an example?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so yours is calculating properly. So your tax credit would be 13 grand. So if you chose not to go solar, not only would every month that goes by, you'd be given $260 in rent to the utility company, but you would also lose out on $13,000 in a tax credit. And this isn't like writing off miles on your taxes. This is on the final number. So once you've completed your taxes and the number is over, if you owed $13,000 to the government, then you don't owe them a single dollar. If you paid in throughout the year and they owed you 20 grand, then now they owe you 33. I don't know if you're a W-2 or a 1099, but it's based on your liability. Either way, this is a final number on your taxes, and if you can't use all of it in 1 year, it rolls over up to 20 years. So if you can only use 6 grand of it this year, then you can use another 7,000 next year. Pretty cool. So it's a big deal. This is real dollars that if you go solar, you have access to. And this is cash money. You can actually choose to apply to your solar loan, or you can invest it in the stock market or buy a boat with it. But you do not have to apply it to your solar. It's your cash to do whatever you want with. So either way, fantastic. I think, Shirley, did we get clear on how you can save money up front by going solar, how it's expensive because it's like 30 grand, but it saves you money because the alternative is that 45,000 that you're going to pay even if the price of electricity doesn't go up? Right, just during the warranty period of the panels, you're going to pay FPL 45,000 and Jimmy's going to pay 78,000. But Jimmy's system, worst case scenario pricing is only 50 grand, right? And Jimmy, the cool part about it is with your system, we usually return thousands of dollars when the job is done. This is called the Imperfect Information Fund. You see how much money's in that fund? Can you see that on your phone? I know it's small. Is that visible? Okay, that's $3,500 that we don't have set aside for anything other than something that could possibly happen during the install. Like we find out you've got termite damage in your rafters and we need to put in some extra supports, or your electrical panel is out of date or full and we need to do a main panel upgrade. But in over 90% of the scenarios, this is a cash rebate on top of some other savings we're able to help find at the end of the job. The only numbers that are not up for, that where you're not going to see a receipt of exactly how much we spent is going to be the electricians and roofers, the managing of the project, like engineering, interconnection with FP&L, and Ovanova's fundraising service. And you'll be able to see transparently exactly what we charge for those things because we're proud of it and because we know that it's a fantastic deal for you guys. And if you went with another company, you'll just pay more. So either way, good. So that's the tax credit. How many solar panels do you need? Any idea?
I think mine was
42? Yeah, okay. And do you know how we figure out how many solar panels somebody needs?
You have I think you said you have a software?
Exactly. It's based on, so how we calculated your numbers is not based on the size of your house, but how much electricity you need to produce. So let's be super clear. This is another reason why I'm like,
you can get more if you wanted to.
100%. You can get, yes, you definitely can. You can get more, but I just want to be really clear. that if you're not correct about your average electricity bill, like if it's not 150 or if it's not 260, then our numbers are not going to be correct in our design. If you were correct, then we're spot on. And you can take that quote to the bank and know that you're most likely going to get a couple grand back because Ovanova's price is a worst case scenario price. But it factors in shading. It factors in the position and where you place the panels. Panels on the north side are less efficient than panels on the east, west, and south. And the software is going to be able to calculate all that in. And so based on your house, the pitch of your roof, your shading factors, and how much electricity that you guys want to produce, that's going to determine how many panels that you need. So that's why, if you guys haven't already done it, please click that link that Luke put in the chat and pick a time to meet back with us and bring your actual usage numbers. So you can either look at a bill and take a picture of that little bar graph that shows your yearly usage, or you can log into your FP&L portal. But the number that you need to get an accurate solar quote is your annual kilowatt hour usage. And so that would be, if y'all are really like, if you recognize the reality of what we discussed today, it's every month that goes by is another month I'm paying FP&L money that I could be putting towards paying off my solar equipment, right? And if that's the case, then schedule a time with us and have that ready so we can actually continue to move you guys down the path. Because even if you wanted solar today, it's probably going to take three and a half months just because of permitting and engineering and the process. Okay. And we have a sense of urgency associated with that. So, it probably will take that long. So that's how we calculated your numbers. If you're curious about how many solar panels you need, is we looked at exactly what you told us you want to produce, 150, 260 bucks a month worth of electricity. We looked at your house, we looked at the pitch of the roof, we looked at your shading, and that's how we calculated it. Last thing would be, what other maintenance or unforeseen expenses might come with solar? You don't have to clean your panels. The rain does a good job. But if you do live on like a super gravel road where there's tons of dust flying up, then you may want to hose them off every once in a while. But that's super uncommon. Other than that, there's no maintenance that I've done with my panels, nor do I intend to do. You don't need to like spiff up the wires or anything. Like they just work. The unforeseen expenses, I mean, the worst thing that we've ever heard of is a squirrel chewing the wires. Because if an act of God comes through and a tree falls on your house, you've got your homeowner's insurance. If the equipment were to fail for any reason, you've got a 25-year manufacturer's warranty. But a squirrel is not a manufacturer's issue. And it's not like a tornado or anything. So that's like the worst thing that can happen. If it does happen, you'll know immediately. We're pretty much almost done here, guys. Promise, like 3 more minutes.
There's like a panel that tells you something's damaged.
Yeah, it's so cool. There's an app for that, Shirley. So this is my house and this is my app. Yours might look different based on what equipment you choose. But can you guys see those little green dots moving? So I'm pausing it, but you see the dots moving? Yeah. So this dot is showing that my solar panels are producing this much energy and it's flowing into my inverter. And then my house is using this much energy. And so I'm barely using anything. You guys remember I was saying during the day, you'll produce extra?
Yeah.
Well, I'm producing 6,900 watts extra. And I'm selling that to the power company. And that's what that green dot going that way is showing. It's showing that my battery is 100% full. I'm producing this much. My house is using this much. Wouldn't it be cool just to know, like at any given moment, how much electricity your house is using?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. And you can look it up any time of day. I know Luke's dad, he constantly looks at his app. And most people get pretty addicted. So it's like the only downfall of going solar is the fact that you might be paying attention to another app on your phone. But, it's super cool. It shows you what's going on. If something were to break, you'll get an alert and we can do something about it. So Ovanova has decided, and we've made a commitment, that if there's something ridiculous that goes on, like a squirrel, we put resources into an account. We call it the Ovanova Assurance Fund. Every time somebody goes solar, just in case something that's not covered under the manufacturer's warranty or not covered under your homeowner's insurance, we can help out with that. So you guys are probably going to call us anyway. Like if y'all go solar, you probably won't call the manufacturer. You'll probably, if something happens, you're probably just going to call Ovanova. And we've like recognized that, and we're happy to help. But that's kind of what we've decided as a team, is we want to make sure that nobody gets hung out to dry and doesn't know what to do. So if a squirrel chews your wires, call Ovanova. Okay. Otherwise, you're covered really well because you got homeowner's insurance and you got a manufacturer's warranty that covers any defects or anything like that. Either way, this app is awesome. It's going to show you like a pie chart of how much you're producing, how much you're selling, how much you're charging. It shows you it even shows you like a graph so you can see throughout the day. Like, oh, wow, we used a lot of electricity this morning. What was that about? Oh, we took showers and our hot water heater turned on. Shows you what the weather's doing. So if you're not home and you're wondering like, why in the world are my panels not producing very much? Oh, it's cloudy and rainy. That makes sense. And it shows you what your investment return rate is based on, every single day that the sun comes up and your solar panels turn electricity or turn sunshine into electricity. That's another dollar that you don't spend to FPL. Pretty cool. So it's pretty sweet. But go ahead.
Does your homeowner's insurance go up or down?
Most people don't see a change in their homeowner's insurance. TECO is the only company that you guys shouldn't have a difference, an issue with it. But if you were like, let's go solar, we're going to ask you to take 9 photographs, and it's a picture of your electrical panel. This is all stuff you can do, no problem. A picture of your electricity panel with the door open, a picture of the main breaker at the top, a picture of the area around your panel, a picture of your meter, a picture of your area around the meter, a picture of your attic space, a picture of the rafter in the attic with a tape measure on it, so we know if you have a 2x4 or 2x6 for engineering purposes. And your husband can handle this if you can't, but I'm sure you can. You're totally capable, surely. But who wants to be in their attic, right? And if you want to, we can actually have somebody come and do these things. But it saves you like $500 to do it yourself, and it's easy. But you can also measure the distance between your rafters, so we know if they're 24 inches apart or 16 inches apart, so we can complete all of our engineering. And then a copy of your homeowner's insurance declarations page. And that will let us know if your homeowner's insurance will cover you as is or if it needs modification. But most everybody, literally most everybody, their homeowner's insurance as is sufficient. I mean, there's definitely some instances, but we look at that. So we make sure that you're covered. That's a good question. If it does go up, it's so inconsequential, it doesn't make up for the fact that you're going to pay a never-ending electricity bill. It wouldn't change your mind. It wouldn't be one of those things. So either way, fantastic. So we pretty much covered everything. We got our concepts. How does solar work when the sun's not out shining? How can solar be expensive? Like, it's 30 grand. That's expensive, right? And save you money at the same time. Well, you're gonna pay $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 over the course of just being a human and having a refrigerator, and not be a day closer. So you might as well pay yourself. And if you chose to sell your house before you've paid off your equipment, your home would sell more and sell faster. So you'll just recoup the investment that way. How many solar panels do you need? How many do you want? If you're about to buy an electric car, you might want to add even more panels. Totally up to you. We can help you with that. Sign up with us and explore further on Zoom. Maintenance, we talked about that stuff. So at this stage, we're just at the Q&A situation and giving you guys a chance to register. I can't imagine loving anything more than I love helping people learn about solar energy. But if you guys were ever curious about what would make John Kerry the most happy human in the world, it would be you guys actually picking a day and a time to continue exploring solar energy, because there's so many people that hear something useful on this conversation and they're just like, yeah, I'll get to it. But life is busy. They wake up tomorrow and they've got the whole thing to do again, right? They got kids to get ready. They got dishes to wash. They got a yard to take care of. It's just, life is so busy that another 6 months can go by and another $1,200 can be given to FPL. And, then it's not fresh. It's like, oh, I forget. How does it work when the sun goes down? So my request is, if you guys heard anything that made any type of sense tonight, please click that link now in the chat, or just say, hey, John, I don't know how to schedule things on Calendly. Let's just pick a time, and we can do it the old school way, right? We can say Tuesday at 4 if you want. But, pretty please recognize that, like, you don't see folks running around with boom boxes anymore, right? You don't see people carrying their calculator in their back pocket because their iPhone has a calculator. Technology advances and certain things don't make sense anymore. And, if we go back to the very beginning to bring it full circle, you guys make a difference, right? What you choose to do, if you choose not to be so busy that you can't continue to follow this and pull these threads, that's what's going to make the difference, is your neighbors seeing your panels and going, yeah, but wasn't that expensive? And then you guys laugh because you have a solar education now. And you're like, well, I actually saved $6.57 a month and my house is more valuable, right? So I'm going to stop yapping, give you guys some time to either register or to ask me some questions if there's anything that would be in the way of you guys continuing your solar exploration journey.
I had one question. So if I talk 2 neighbors into buying in, is there a reduction in the cost for those 2 neighbors and myself due to being obviously improving the efficiency of installing those all at the same time?
The short answer is no. Ovanova, we always give our best offer first. That's why we have worst case scenario pricing. Like, most people get thousands of dollars back when it's done because we actually show you the invoices for shipping and the equipment and all that. You're already getting a ridiculous discount because you went through a community organization. What will happen if you tell 2 neighbors about this is they can come in, they can support the baseball team, and $50 will go to the baseball team per person that explores. They'll get a free solar design and they'll get open book pricing and they'll have an opportunity to make a decision, but we're not going to call and pester them. If you guys don't sign up to follow up, I'm just going to continue to do what I do tomorrow and do this again with a new group of people. I hope I see you guys again. I really do, but you're not going to be put in a sales loop. We're not going to market to you. Nobody's going to come to your house. That's what makes it expensive. And Jimmy, that's how solar companies typically work, right? What they'll do is they'll say, hey, if you can get a couple people to buy, we'll give you a $500 discount. Well, what's a $500 discount on a $15,000 more expensive system? It's just built into sales and marketing costs, and it's no problem. You can do it however you want to, but our offer is our best offer, and I appreciate you asking.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and you guys don't have to stick around. Just by being here and introducing yourselves, you generated $50 for your organization. But please tell folks about this experience. The more people in the world that know what the deal is with free sunshine and how it can not only the real fundraiser, fellow humans and team that are here, is not $50 to the team. It's all the money that we save as a group of humans by stopping doing the same thing every single day to get our electricity. What would a world be like if we woke up tomorrow and just because the sun came up, our cars were able to move, our houses were heated and cooled, our devices were charged? That's a future that's coming, and we will have a massive impact on that. And the reason I believe we don't see solar on every single rooftop is because people are too busy to explore it. That's it. Like, bottom line, it's not about math. The math makes sense. It's not about logic. It's not about maintenance. It's not about the technology not being there yet. It's just folks are just so darn busy working to keep the lights on. They don't know that the sunshine can do it for us. So pick a time, please. If not, please send us some feedback and say, hey, John, I didn't pick a time because you talked too much and didn't ask enough questions. I didn't pick a time because you were in space and I didn't get to see that cool guitar you have behind you. Whatever.
Thank you, John. I'm gonna wait for your proposal and go further from there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Jimmy. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I like that one. I tripped.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened to my voice at the very beginning.
Oh, you did fine. You did
Yeah.
great.
By the way, FPL's customer charge is $8. It's $8.35. But we have it on the utility thing, but on Open Solar, it listed at 14.
Okay.
Even though we have it in there. Yeah.
I think it's $8.32, but you're saying it's $8.35.
We're right there in the middle with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like $8.34.
Well, I think that's a good reason if you wanted to text those two individuals and say, hey, I was incorrect about the $14 to stay connected to FPL. It's $8.35. And here's a link to register. And here's your open book pricing.
Yeah, I'll just do that tonight. Yeah, that's easy enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the templates on your side, though. They all look correct.
It's mine. It's just me.
It's just, well, Shirley's something was going on there, but all I did was just revert it to the version that you adjusted.
Oh, it is fixed now. What?
Yeah.
Dude, this is like the third time that's happened today.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, it's weird.
Man. Yeah, you saw it happen like a bunch today.
Yeah, no, I was sitting there looking at one number and trying to figure out where you're pulling that other number from.
Yeah, here's the other one. Oh, no, that is correct. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'll just have to figure it out before that happens again. But
yeah. Well, hey, one of the things I learned when I was trying to be creative and send emails out to people before I just started being really nonchalant, like not nonchalant about it, but not making it super duper customizable. One of the things I learned about FPL is that over the next like 10 years, they're going to be, and I could be wrong, but they're going to be raising prices in order to have a certain percentage of their production be solar. So they're just installing a bunch of solar fields, and for the next 10 years, people are going to pay extra for those solar fields. Yeah. And so I don't know, a point that could be made is, have you all seen those panels that are being put up? Who do you think's paying for them? Do you think when they're like you've said it before, you know what I mean? It's like, why would you?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're going to be paying for solar anyway.
I'm still including too much information, but it's like, it's all so useful.
I know.
You know, like I need to get to, and I'll get there, but I need to get to a point where I'm going over the 4 basic concepts and I just include like the meat and potatoes, foundational data, and then open it up and let the rest of it needs to be quicker, and it needs to be open up to like a different type of conversation that's like pleasurable, so people remember how it ends, and it's not just like, wow, I got hit with a bunch of truth and it felt right, but you know, like you know, like something.
It should almost be set up so that people want to keep digging versus feeling like they have all of their questions answered. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I don't like, so I need to change this right here is like, when will your electricity bill be paid off? That's like not important because it's covered.
I don't see what you're talking about. Your screen's not sharing.
Here.
Yeah.
I'll do it. So this right here, I got rid of the that one, and then this part right here, it's like what maintenance and other unforeseen expenses. I probably just don't need to bring that up and just let people bring it up. Mm-hmm. It's like such a weird thing. How many solar panels do you have, how much cost?
Decide to put the expensive part before or after. How does it work when it's raining, cloudy, that kind of stuff?
So you're saying put this here?
Yeah, just get that out of the way.
Yeah, good idea. Okay.
And then pick for number 2, how many solar panels do I need? How much does it cost? Because then it's kind of following the train of thought of, okay, so you told me it could be less expensive, but how does that,
yeah. Repeat it. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
it's not going to come out correct how I want it to, but I say put how can solar be expensive and then how much solar panels do I need second, because that also goes to the cost aspect of it. So it's just following that train of thought.
Okay.
There you go.
Ah. It's not going to be.
But honestly, the fourth one could be just bringing up a conversation of like, just next steps. Just what would solar, like, how would I go solar? That kind of question.
It can just be 3 basic concepts.
Yeah.
Where was that slide? I looked for that thing.
It's look 2 after the picture.
I think it needs to go here.
Yeah.
Because it's this introductions. After we introduce ourselves, it's warm, and it's like, let's come on, make a difference, pay attention. Here we go. Clarity. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like I'll get that right eventually. I'm just like, please pay attention. You want your kids to pay attention to e-learning, right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I love that.
I know. It'll get better. I think it's getting better every time.
It is. This is a long one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it went a little over an hour. Yeah.
Gosh, man, it doesn't seem like that to me, but
I know what you mean.
It's got to be. So I need to be more truthful here. Where is it at?
Well, if you could do it in 30 minutes, we just need to figure out a way to do it in 30 minutes.
Clarity. We'll just say this is like 7 minutes, and this is like 18 minutes. 25, 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like 28 minutes. I don't know. I said 10, but I just added some time on there. I just have to do it. I have to include less information and be more concise with what I'm saying. And like you said, leave it up to, leave it a little open-ended so people are like, oh, I still have lots to learn.
Yeah.
Andy and Brock. Well, thanks, Luke. Great work today. I think we made some good progress project management wise. We're getting ahead. I think a lot of good stuff happened on the end of like moving things forward that had just been sitting still too. So
yeah, I still haven't heard anything back from Jake or Dominion or anything like that. So
about the interconnection.
Yeah. Because that was my mistake, not putting my email. I put Jake's email for interconnection.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, interconnection happens last, so we could totally install and then. Yeah. In the process.
And as far as Green Mountain goes, that guy still hasn't given me a call back, so I got to reach out to him again tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be good. And then let's see. I have those forms. I'll send those to you for Jess's.
I think they're all in the project management sheet, and I think it's a Google Drive thing. So it's like,
let's see.
Yeah, so if you go to project management, cash flow worksheet, you'll see under Jess.
Load, baby.
And if they're not there, then we want to put them there.
Yeah, I'll put them there
as Google Drive links.
Mm-hmm. Interconnection, permanent progress. This is a Google Drive. Okay, so I'm not going to, let's see. As far as, here, I just put this as a link into it. We're going to need more room on this.
I know. I'm sure Lester could do something really elegant with it to make it make sense, but
yeah,
I think that's the place to put it. Just keep it all on one sheet.
Yeah, let me pull up this last thing here.
And we probably should.
Oh, nice. Jimmy Russo signed up.
Whoa, 50%. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, brother. Can't wait to see you, man. So happy when people actually hear the request and actually do it. It's like, cool. Now the next part of the battle is actually showing up. But Jimmy was paying attention. He had a great question. He's like, if I tell my neighbors about it, are we gonna get a discount? It's like, it's possible, but it'll be in the imperfect information fund.
Technically, his neighbors didn't come through the fundraiser.
Oh, really?
If he's, you see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
But it still have to do that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
If people don't come through the fundraiser, they don't get a solar education in that way. Mm-hmm. And then they come with, just
imperfect information. I get it.
Yeah, imperfect information, and they think we're a sales company.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just, it's like then they're looking at our numbers and they're just like, how in the heck are they so so well priced, especially if you took out the Ovanova fundraising service from it becomes,
Yeah.
We almost had like grant money to do our service, and then we could have deleted the Ovanova fundraising service, but then it'd have been even more wild when people saw the price. They would not believe it,
What happened to that?
I don't know.
Huh.
I think that by almost, we probably should check back with the guy. I'm sure he wouldn't mind hearing from us. That's for sure. But the dude that was kind of spearheading the whole thing, he basically created the PPA in order to help make solar make sense back in the day when it was still expensive.
And so he's still just doing.
He's retired.
Stuff like that, but
no, he's older. He's probably done with work. I think he's just in like I want to help the world with my energy phase.
That's cool. So is it his thing that y'all were connected to, or his grant that y'all were connected to, or is it just somebody that he knows?
I think it's called a DAF fund. It's like a donor advised fund. So it's basically people who need to offset some tax liability through donations. And they can put them in a fund, and the fund can be used for certain things. And this fund would be used for, helping people explore solar energy and a fundraising service.
Cool.
Yeah. It never came to fruition, but it doesn't mean that it, we really just stopped reaching out.
How long ago was that?
Like 3 months.
Oh, that's not long.
No.
Let's see. I randomly texted this guy I've talked to once named Amish Shaw, I went through a rabbit hole of talking to people who were part of the YPO, because Emily's dad connected me to like one or two of them. And then I just started talking to him over the summer. And one of the guys' names is Amish Shaw, and he runs a bunch of nonprofits in Indiana. So I shot him a text today, as well as I sent him the deck. But I need to call my dad. I'm just thinking about the conversation we were having earlier. I need to call my dad and see how willing he would be just to text that over to people, just to get their opinion on it, or see if they'd be willing to invest. But
well, that weird thing you posted in Slack about the login attempt, the number an 09 at the end, I don't know. And then like, it's obviously an Ovanova.co. It could be an Abby, but it's not. Or it might be.
Lester said it's Amanda at Ovanova.co.
No, AMAN. There's not enough asterisks.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I don't know.
That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 asterisks, and there is 4 asterisks.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Trey said something about how he got a sign-in attempt from me, but it's not letting me sign in without sending this unusual attempt form in.
Yeah.
That next week.
So we need to get together and make sure that if we're taking the time to build designs, that we're taking the time to think them through, like small system sizes, putting the tax in, like Lester said, Cali installers, 75 cents. Like if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right. And so we need to, if there's not a checklist, there needs to be a checklist. And
yeah.
So that kind of stuff is, we'll get it right. But that, if you're on the team meeting tomorrow and you guys bring up some of that stuff.
So you're saying we need or try to make another project management checklist? Just so I'm hearing you correct?
Not project management. It's
okay. What is? Sorry, I couldn't hear the first part of what you said.
It's just like building a solar design. We're going to build a solar.
Okay, so just just to make it duplicatable and.
Yeah, like I don't know if we even have it on the sheet, but we've been doing so many people in Florida where sales tax is exempt that I think whenever we have somebody like a Californian pop up, we're not adding in sales tax just because it's not part of the groove, part of the mojo of getting it done. And then at the same time, when it's in a different area like that, like you saw, the Desire website said that they only support lithium-ion batteries. Yeah, I mean,
for California?
That's what it said on the Desire website. Now,
I pulled up California government website, and as of May, here I have it up. I had it up on my phone.
I mean, you saw it was really clearly stated that they have a sales tax exemption until 2030.
Solar, California? I didn't even look at that part. I was just looking at the lithium iron phosphate ones.
Right, but they do have. But you're correct. I mean, we're installing LifePo for batteries in California.
Yeah,
but it may or may not be included on like a sales tax exemption list or something. But we just have to do that. We have to be clear on that stuff every time. Just
let's see. Damn, it heard me talking.
It's not so much about the facts this time as it is the process.
Yeah.
The process when we're building solar design.
Making sure to check sales tax before.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. That check sales tax. If it's an area like California, build in extra costs for solar installers, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just looking. Tax programs. They have a property tax exclusion or exemption.
Or just a property tax exemption, not a sales tax.
I couldn't find anything on the
super weird
site.
Desire is normally like a super accurate site, but I know that in the past we have lost money because we did not collect sales tax in California, so we had to eat that. Yeah, I imagine that.
Yeah, it's California. There probably is.
Yeah, but it's solar. Who knows? But that's and that's another thing too, is we have to. I kind of like having a team in the way of research, because we can post on Slack and we can be like, hey, what about sales tax in this state? And then everybody can do their thing, and because I can't tell you how many times I've found, sales tax exemption, and then it's not, or whatever. So it's nice to have be triple checked.
Yeah, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, most of the time when I'm putting in sales tax, I just look up the local tax versus just the state. If the state doesn't have an exemption.
Yeah, sometimes it's state and local together.
Yeah, so if you look up the local, it'll give you that combination.
Correct.
Yeah. It's weird. There's that new construction exclusion.
Yeah. So you guys still have a morning meeting?
Yeah, it goes for like 15 minutes. It's really not anything special. It's fun. Enjoy talking to people in the morning, but
Yeah, I've been enjoying getting things done where you guys
I
have fun.
believe it.
So yeah, I think I was gonna. I mean, maybe if you guys do get on tomorrow and maybe bring some of this stuff up, maybe it can get worked through process-wise. But I think the process is the important part, not the actual data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just steps. I mean, we have that stuff written out. It's just not anywhere. I know where it is right now.
Yeah. That's what software is for.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I did too many information pieces on that. So much information.
Okay. I left a lot of voicemails today.
What? I thought that Chris redid Jimmy Russo's stuff today and got 100% offset. And now something's wrong with when I pull open book pricing up.
Let me pull Jimmy's up.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Do you see 100% offset or do you see?
Let me pull it up.
Oh, it says this solar design will produce 101%, but the photograph says 99. Maybe he didn't change out the photographs. Are you
I'm pulling it up on my energy.
Open solar or open?
Open solar.
Oh, okay. I won't do that then.
So 72 panels, 101%.
Yeah, that's what it should be. So we need to change out the pictures. Is what it is.
Where did I put that? There we go. I just have too many tabs open right now.
That's my life. I'm constantly like,
Okay.
Especially when you run a Zoom and you have to screen share. It's like that's like the last. When people pull up their screen share and they have like 100 tabs, it's like I'm always judging. I'm like,
Yeah, they're all burning just a little bit of data or using a little bit of bandwidth when you're not looking at them.
Yeah, well, we're about to true up for Duke for our solar, and
Nice.
on May 30th, and we've been producing so much extra electricity. We're about to just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a cryptocurrency mining rig to like burn up that.
You can just rent one from somebody, I bet.
Yeah.
Just somebody on Craigslist be like, yo, I just need this for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. I could just run it for them for free.
One of my buddies does it on his computer. And somehow he's not mining. I don't know what he's mining, but he's mining it on his computer.
You can mine.
Oh, you froze.
You can mine on your computer.
Yeah. He's a real smart